When I lost weight, my husband says I looked like a child. So he felt relieved when my breasts came back. The second week begins. The post would become easier to be abolished, but the 9th day is terrible. My mood is sharp. I move in the cloud of negativity. I hate everyone and everything. I am trying to write an article about the Hollywood star Margot Robbie. I heard that in Hollywood, people live in a constant state of half-hungry. Is that why they manage to look so beautiful? Writes on the next day of his post, Brigid Delaney, an Australian journalist and lawyer who decided to face the power of the 21st century, the wellness industry. She checked the craziest diets, cleansing treatments, and detoxes on her skin to see why, he thinks, people are ready to pay others for forcing them to sacrifice and suffer. The conclusions turned out to be overwhelming. Delaney decided to examine what fears we try to deal with when we tell ourselves that it is time for another miracle diet, or juice detox, whose effectiveness has already overthrown a lot of dietitians and doctors. We serve ourselves with an unbearable excess, accumulating the impressions our body cannot deal with. And then we try to remedy it with obsessive detox or rinsing the colon. When he goes for mustard, I take a handful of his fries, put it in my mouth, lick them, and put them back. On the 8th day, I lost 6 kilos and a lot of centimeters in the circuits. I lost almost 13 centimeters from my stomach and from 2.5 to 7.5 centimeters from the shoulders, thighs, waist, and hips. Dr. Lou is satisfied with my progress. He says that I am on the right track and that if I continue to follow each program recommendation, my organs can breathe again and return to optimal functioning. I will achieve the goal and cleanse myself. In addition to losing weight, I also start to look different. The swelling of the face, alcoholic skin, and hazy eyes disappeared. I am starting to present, it cannot be determined differently, obscenely healthy. When I browsed the boxes in my parents' garage this summer, I came across my photos from when I was 20, a few years old. 15 years later, I look better, healthier. My hair shines, and my nails are strong. They peeled, broke, and bent earlier, and now they were made of another, more substantial material. I could open cans with these tough guys. But the strangest is my skin. I didn't have a lot of wrinkles before. I was slowly convinced that all this alcohol and processed food somehow had a preservative effect on my face, which gained a ghostly appearance, but indeed there were some. Now my face, my slimmer look, is tense, shiny, and smooth. Wrinkles around the eyes, mouth, and forehead disappeared from day to day. It scares me a bit. Where did they go? How can wrinkles disappear? Do laboratories around the world invest billions of dollars to achieve this? I thought wrinkles were irreversible without surgical procedures. Is it about how much I sleep? My eyes are strangely clear, and the smell has sharpened. From the first level of Bondi Junction, I feel the forest smell of dead animals at Dr. Lou Clinic, 3 floors above. With this new face and body, I join the crowds of Sydney again. I meet Patrick during the opening of the Sydney Festival. He didn't see me since I had a face with stains and bloodshot eyes, and I was in danger of hitting the Bondi Road. There is free alcohol here, but it doesn't tempt me. I want fries, pizza, orange, spinach, steak, potato casserole, chips, tortilla, and puree potatoes. Not sparkling wine in a plastic mug. I look, relatively, slim for the first time since childhood. I am wearing a lovely red dress with a plunging neckline, emphasizing my new, narrowing waist, and arranged hair. I stuck a flower behind my ear. Patrick cuts my eyes. You look, how to say it, like a thin chick from the PR department from the eastern suburbs. Like everyone else. Patrick sits down with a liter of beer and a 30-centimeter German sausage with hot fries. When he goes for mustard, I take a handful of his fries, put it in my mouth, lick them, and put them back on his plate. They taste amazing, but I didn't swallow them, so I still officially go. I warned Patrick that he would not eat the softened fries from the shore of the plate because they were in my mouth. Instead, he moves his shoulders as if he said, those girls and their diet, and pushes the fries to the side. How do other men react to a new, slimmer one? Slimness is attractive, right? Yes. I look better, the best in life. But I don't have any additional admirers for this. And the men I already know do not say much except for the vague recognition that I look different, or give a kind of combustion for the elderly. I look good. Instead, it is mainly friends who admire my weight loss. They see in my example that if you get a clog, your cheeks find it quite hard to stop hunger. However, if you tighten your fists to the whiteness of the ankles, take your Chinese medicine 3 times a day, locate the pantry, and do not leave the room, the transformation is possible. Not some ordinary change but a radical, rapid transformation. When I met my friend Ellen in Hyde Park, he met me only after a second look. He lives in New York, and the last time she saw me, I was queuing in the queue for Shake Shack after a burger with bacon at Madison Square Garden. He can't take his eyes off it. OMG, you look fantastic. Just at this moment. Fantastic. Your hair, eyes, and skin. It would be best if you always looked like this. Just keep doing it, whatever you do. But I'm starving. I miss going to dinner. I miss social contacts. I miss food. Soon I will return to solid foods. I can't wait for food. I exchange all dishes that I can't wait for, including pasta, burgers, pho, salads, apples, granola, falafel, and baked chicken. But she shakes her head. My friends thought I looked great, and my husband was worried that I started to resemble a child. No, Brig, you don't understand. You can't go back to food. You've reached the peak of attractiveness right now. My friend Zoe, an actress, tells me what reactions she met when she lost weight to the role of. Friends thought I looked great and heard a lot of compliments from women. But my husband decided that I reminded the child too much. He felt great relief when I gained weight again and my breasts returned. In Lolita, Humbert Humbert says that women's attractiveness peaks from 9 to 14. This peak is a smaller, more specific window, between December and March when I go. But it is impossible to keep this glow almost like a fairy. As if one of the girls from a picnic under a hanging rock returned years later. Having made some contact with the ghost world. My eyes are luminous like polished tan, shiny skin, smooth skin like a child. This is nature in its most ominous and supernatural edition. Is this happening when you are cleansing? No one has a clue how it works. The kilos are still flying. 850 grams of one day, 200 more, a kilo of the next. It is so violent and strange that I feel cut off from it. But, then, I pick up a kilo pack of rice in the pantry. It's tough. I can hardly believe that I lose the equivalent of one of them from my body every day. What is happening to this? In the first week, I lost the equivalent of the permissible weight of cabin luggage, one of these suitcases on wheels containing some clothes, a few books, and some toilet accessories, enough for a weekend trip. However, I still had hand luggage on hand spread throughout my body. my hands, stomach, thighs, butt, and face. No wonder it is easier for me to move now. For the first time, I actually focus on the pure effort that my body makes only to wear these extra kilos. Now I feel, well, lighter. Since I gained more aerodynamic shapes, I sail from place to place rather than hug myself. My joints are less stiff. Activities such as yoga have become much more accessible. I can bend much more freely than before, and I'm more agile, especially when I move from one position to another. But such a quick figure change seems strange, as if I woke up in the wrong body. Somewhere in the depths, you get used to wearing yourself as you are. You get used to your dimensions. Your body learns a chair that fits best, clothes that you do not respect, and the cut of the jacket that serves him, and that if you run too fast, your tits will swing crazily like soap in a sock. Until one day, they stop, because there will be less to wave. My mind has yet to catch up with a new body, so I don't enjoy it. Instead, it surprises me. As if I took off the extensive, heavy Burberry trench coat. Ah, so better, I can move my arms. But is this my new shape forever or something borrowed? Other things change too. I have long suffered from PMS, pains and cramps, a day spent in bed, rolled up with a whirlwind. Amanda Solis says, with the extreme lack of food, there is a suppression of the level of active sex hormones and reduction of fertility. Historically, the periods of hunger favored the control of the increase in population. So my menstrual pains were softened, but my reproductive capacity fell. The second week begins. The post would become easier to be abolished, but the 9th day is terrible. My mood is sharp. I move in the cloud of negativity. I hate everyone and everything. I am trying to write an article about the Hollywood star Margot Robbie. I met her with a jug of tea, and you can get in a hotel in Flatiron District, Manhattan, a few weeks ago, which now seems so distant as if it happened in some other life. I look at her photo, which I snapped by phone. Her PR threw myself at me when I did it, assuming that an unauthorized shot would appear on some website or in a magazine, without makeup, lightweight leather, clear eyes, and shiny blonde hair. I heard that in Hollywood, people live in a constant state of half-hungry. How else could someone look so cute? I feel a wave of resentment and envy. I exude something that is widely known as bad vibrations. Blogs about fasting call it a mental detox. Just as your body throws toxins, the mind also becomes clean. Unfortunately, I can't find any scientific research that will confirm this. I only have my own experience. As the blogger Fallon Blanco writes based on his own fasting. In the case of prolonged posts, it is normal to experience strong emotional reactions, so far suppressed, when the body brings them to the surface so that they are also healed. It can be a difficult time. Yes. Maybe. Nightmares are so realistic that I cannot shake them after waking up. Mental detox is the release of things in the form of very vivid nightmares. These nightmares are so realistic that I can't recover from them after waking up. I really have the impression that my whole family died. Just like on the 8th night of the post, when their car exploded in the ball, burning everything inside and around, including them, and I ran and ran to them, trying to warn them. But the heat was glowing and was alive. It could not be mastered. Wellness blogs say that the detox is deepening at this point, and the body burns subsequent layers, years and years, and summer. I'm cleansing. For decades, I poured alcohol, chemicals, and all kinds of processed food into my throat. Cleansing, this deeper part, was always an extremely bumpy ride. This is the element of renovation that gets really serious. The builders brought pneumatic hammers, broke the foundations, repaired the entire installation, and removed the roof. I feel like a building and an inhabitant. I am touched and rebuilt, and at the same time, I try to live in a house destroyed around me. I can only stick to it when the work progresses quickly. This is a fragment of Wellmania by Brigid Delaney. Attention! Brigid Delaney's book is no guide to taking care of the body or slimming. Instead, the author consciously took the health risk to describe the negative consequences of specific treatments and methods.